Hello, I'm Ailey the Rainbow Witchy Lass and welcome to part 2 of my Taylor Swift Eras Pick a Card reading. If you have stumbled upon this video for the first time, there is a part 1 to this themed reading, so feel free to check that out as well. But I am back with 3 more era affirmations for you to choose from, so let's dive right in. Card number 1 is a message inspired by Evermore. Card number 2 is a message inspired by Midnights, and card 3 is a message inspired by the Tortured Poets Department. Like I mentioned in my first Eras card video, feel free to pause this part of the video to take time over choosing your card. Also, if you are attracted to more than one card, then that is okay. Just allow your inner self to explore this image and see what catches your attention. So card number 1, this is your affirmation and message inspired by Evermore. I am a wildflower that blooms in chaos. So Evermore is the sister album to Folklore, but the theme with this one is very different. To me, this album is again a collection of stories with a mix of Taylor's real life moments, but I pick up on various examples of a character fighting through messy events in order to reconnect to their true self. One major example is the song Champagne Problems, where there is an engagement and the exploration of consequences when the girl turns down the proposal. Sometimes in life there are people or events that will really test our authenticity. This card is telling you to push through the pressures you may be feeling right now and just allow that growth to happen regardless of the messy surroundings. I understand that it takes courage and effort, but we can't control other people's reactions when we go off the beaten track. Trust that your unique expression will bring the happiness or freedom that you deserve. Wildflowers grow with ease in the wild, and their existence does not need human interference in order to appear. So think of this message as radiant seeds that have now been scattered into your life plans. This moment is the beginning of your growth, and your future self is just jumping up and down right now with joy that you chose to rise above all that keeps you stuck. You will soon see how quickly things that do not serve you wither away as you finally give your life the nourishment it needs. Card number 2, this is your affirmation and message inspired by Midnights. I sparkle in order to attract those who appreciate my worth. Okay, so this affirmation does relate a lot to the song Bejeweled, which is one of my favourite tracks from Midnights. This album has a very dreamy, reflective vibe, and this card is telling you that you are ready to bring your sparkle back. I sense whoever has picked this card that it has been a long time since you felt that glittery, carefree version of yourself. When we fall into relationships or even friendships, it is very easy to get caught up in the development of it and trying so hard to make it work, even if that means sacrificing parts of yourself to make them love you more. But by manipulating our true self, all it does is create frustration, and we push ourselves into this corner that is really hard to get out of. We convince ourselves that we are the problem, and it is so damaging when we don't check in with reality. There is a quote that I have as a piece of art in my bedroom that says, "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." That quote has brought a lot of comfort to me in times when I feel like I have failed at something, or when I feel pressure to pursue something because other people think it's right for me. No matter what I do in life, whether it be a positive small change for myself or achieving something on a grand scale that others acknowledge, I know that everything will be okay because I am surrounded by loved ones who have my back and friends who really understand my struggles. what I'm trying to articulate here is this sense of building with intention, not allowing society or people who really don't care or bother with us to dull our presence. It is entirely up to ourselves to show up bright in this world, and when we sparkle, we not only find our other sparkly people, but we create this network of love that supports us. You might be missing that person or thing right now that you thought was important, but do you remember what it was like to sparkle and make the whole room shimmer? You are a rare jewel, and there is no one like you. Card number 3, this is your affirmation and message inspired by the Tortured Poets Department. I choose to be thankful for all of the past versions of myself. Last year, I heard someone on the internet talk about how they say thank you when they look back on photos of themselves that they don't like. By saying thank you, it made them feel grateful for that version of their past self because it got them to where they are now. Women especially tend to be prone to finding flaws in photos, and since putting this thank you theory into practice, I have been able to look back on certain photos of me with a smile rather than pulling faces of discomfort over things that most of the time I was only able to see. With the Tortured Poems album, I can't help but think that Taylor is probably thankful for the different versions of herself that got her to where she is now. So I thought this affirmation was best suited for this era. And the message is to find forgiveness for whatever it is that you look back on and feel hurt towards. Taylor has used her incredible gift for storytelling through song to capture her life over the years. So, is there a talent or interest you have that you could do the same with? You could use this affirmation as a journal prompt, the line of a poetic piece, or to create as a piece of art. Or a really good way of building a better connection with yourself is to write a letter to your past self too. Oh, and here's a fun idea. Why not look back on your life and see if you can name eras that helped you evolve as a person? It doesn't have to be a serious exercise. You could maybe just pick out times your style has changed. Just see this creative exploration as a way to understand the way you feel about yourself. I find when I am positive about my life moments now, I am able to move forward, and it's like taking weight off my soul. I no longer carry a version of myself that wants to put me down for how I looked or how I acted that made others criticize me. Of course, I am human, and I have the odd wobble when it comes to how I physically look, especially as I'm growing older. But I have spent time developing the best friend voice in me so that when I do have those wobbles, I let in the kind, my own best friend voice in to come in and talk to me through a way out of self-pity. I think it is quite beautiful to see our lives as these chapters or stepping stones that got us to where we are right now. Or even if you feel like you are not where you want to be yet, just remember how far you have come from that moment you felt like you weren't enough. Next time you see a picture of yourself that you want to pick apart, take a moment to just push that judgment to the back of your mind and see if you can let in the part of you that wants to compliment what they see. Take this card as your sign and permission to move away from tortured thinking. And that is the end of my Eras Pick a Card reading. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Again, feel free to check out part 1 to receive more era messages. Drop a comment below if anything from today's reading connected with you. I'm planning to do some more pick a card reading videos in the near future and other fun content, so subscribe to my channel to keep updated with new posts. Thanks again, bye for now.